Newmarket and Kingston hooked up in an epic encounter last Sunday. Two teams jockeying for playoff position in the Northeast, and we're going to have all the highlights for you coming up in just a moment. This is the OJ Today. Hey folks, I'm Alex Bachevansky. On this week's program, Georgetown Raiders head coach Greg Walters is going to join me here in the studio to discuss his squad's strong play down the stretch. Also, we'll have a feature story on the North York Rangers. That's coming up later in the show. But first, let's get to the Gong Show Gear game highlights and the Newmarket Hurricanes. They've really elevated their game in the new year. Despite having one of the youngest teams in the league, the Canes have been knocking off some of the OJ's best squads, and they were looking to play the role of giant killer once again as they hosted Kingston last Sunday. OJ highlights are brought to you, of course, by Gong Show Gear. Gong Show Gear, lifestyle hockey apparel, official sponsor of the Ontario Junior Hockey League. The Canes were coming off a huge 3-2 win over Trenton 2 nights before, so they had some serious momentum. Pick it up in the first, already up 1-0. They add to it. Nicholas Favaro just throws it on goal. Todd Winder, Johnny on the spot. He knocks it home. Newmarket's up by a deuce. Winder, the Canes' leading scorer this year. Then Owen Ramsey flies down the wing, tosses it at the net from a brutal angle. Zach Springer, oops, completely misplays it, 3-0. But you know Kingston won't just lie down and die. 4 minutes later, Josh Hardiman goes for a skate. Great solo effort as he beats Dalton Ewing, and the V's are on the board. Second period, they continue the comeback. Danny Bosio uncovered out front, bides his time, beats Ewing. K-Town right back in it, trailing by just a single score. And they complete the comeback off a great solo effort by Zach Emilifone. Block shot. Look at the speed as he turns on the Jets, and the future Union Dutchman notches his 12th of the season to knot it up at 3. In the third, the V's would continue to roll. On the PP, it's Ian Harris with way too much time and space. He burns it past Ewing, and Kingston leads 4-3. But the young Newmarket squad hits back. Jonathan Cawley to Marty Lawler. Boom goes the dynamite. And all knotted up at 4 apiece after 60 minutes, which means they needed overtime to settle the score. And 1:57 in, Reed Russell picks his spot past Ewing, and Kingston come back from 3 goals down to knock off a talented Canes squad. 5-4 is your final. That's the Voyageurs' 5th win in 6 games. Once they got past the slow start, the veterans led the way. Kingston, though, a distant second behind Trenton in the East right now. Coburg, they're trying to hold off Stouffville for the 8th and final playoff spot in the Northeast. 5:36 in, Aurora draw first blood. Liam Newman there to bank home the rebound. Tigers up 1-0. The Cougars respond, though. Josh Boyko can't hold on to the point shot. Matt Carroll dines out on the second chance. The squads are knotted up at 1 apiece. Late in the frame, though, Tigers 3-on-1. Darren Ey wraps home the rebound. Tigers back out in front. The Cougars even things in the second, so it's 2-2 heading into the third, where Alex Fermenton pounces on yet another big fat rebound to make it 3-2 Aurora. But with 25 seconds left, net empty, Ryan Castleman squeezes one past Boyko to draw the Cougars even, which sends it to overtime, and the Cougs win it on a weird one. Matt Carroll somehow gets it up and over Boyko to give Coburg the 2 points in dramatic fashion. 4-3 final. Essential points for the Cougars, who are tied with Whitby for the 8th and final spot in the Northeast for the playoffs, and sit just 4 points up on Stouffville, who are hot on their heels. And you know, there really were some huge matchups last weekend. North York and Georgetown certainly qualify as a massive tilt. The Raiders currently lead the West, while the Rangers are hot on the heels of Oakville for first in the South. And to nobody's surprise, the two squads needed OT to settle the matter last Sunday. The youthful Raiders had won 6 of 7, but how would they fare against the experience of North York? Things look good early on for them. 4:20 in, Josh Dickinson never gives up on the play. Pokes it past G and Luca Baguetta. 1-0 Georgetown, and they were understandably pumped. Baguetta wasn't at his sharpest on this day. Aaron McDonald from the point floats it on goal. Baguetta whiffs on it, and those are absolute killers in big games like this one. G-Town up 2-0. Second period, the Rangers get one back. Ted Hunt puts on his hard hat, digs out the puck, and beats Andrew Masters, who also had a bit of an off day. Home squatter within one. Third period, The Rangers draw even. Chris Sekulic hits Michael Morgan, who finds daylight past Masters, and we're all knotted up at 2 apiece off Morgan's 18th of the season. The Raiders hit back, though. Zach Dybowski threads it to Daniel Hardy, who's been on fire lately for Georgetown. Raiders regained the lead up 3-2, but then
Kiriakou shorthanded. Kind of step around Dybowski. Here is Kiriakou. He scores!
Oh, what a rush by Kiriakou. That meant the teams needed overtime to settle the score.
It's off. The Rangers are going to have to hurry back. Here is Crocker. Crocker to Dickinson to Crocker. He scores! The Raiders win it in overtime in a hard-fought affair.
A great call, Jamie Neugebauer. This game definitely lived up to the hype. 4-3 Raiders take it, and the two squads do it all over again next Saturday in Georgetown. And just a reminder, it's that time of year again. Voting for the Fan Favorite Award has commenced. Head to ojhl.ca to vote for your favorite OJ player. Last year, there were a record 56,000 votes cast for over 200 OJHL players. So head to the website. Voting closes on March 31st of this year. Welcome back. Now that the Markham Royals are looking like the probable champs of the North Division, Aurora finds itself battling just for a berth in the postseason. One of the squads hot on its heels are the Whitby Fury, and the teams battled for 2 crucial points last weekend. Whitby have been sliding lately. They've lost 4 of 5 and desperately needed 2 points. It's the Cats that draw first blood, though, 15:53 in. Austin Gerhard with the beautiful little saucer pass to J.D. Falconer, who puts it home, 1-0 Aurora. 4 minutes later, though, Fury on the PP. Ryan Taylor, a boom. This guy's one-timer is unreal. Whitby ties it up at 1. Second frame, more from Taylor. Just off camera to your right here, he tips home the Ryan Porter shot past Alex Fotinos, and it's 2-1 Fury. In the third period, they put this baby to bed. Riley McKinnon from the point here is going to beat the screened Fotinos to make it 3-1 for the boys in blue. That's how this one ends up. The Fury are tied with Coburg right now with 50 points apiece for the 8th and final playoff spot in the Northeast. So big points for them. Okay, the Cougars are currently tied with North York for the 4th seed in the Southwest. They took on the Pats last weekend. James McLaughlin gets the Cougs going 18:03 into the first frame as he manages to deflect it past Jacob Standen, and Burlington leads 1-0. In the second period, they managed to add to that total. Ben Morris ends up smoking it past the sprawling Standen, and the Cougars are looking good, up 2-0 on the Pats. But Toronto never says die. Luis Mateo to Noah Robinson to the back of the net, and the Pats are on the board, trailing 2-1. Just 3 minutes later, Mario Ferraro floats one in from the point. Austin Washkarak couldn't see a thing with Cole Prabhu right on his doorstep. Pats all even. 2-2 hockey game. Late in the frame, Cougars on the power play. David Thompson to Jordan Peacock, who deflects it home, and B-Town lead 3-2. Off to the third period we go now, and the Pats manage to draw even.
This one poked forward. Harris, he's got Palara. Backdoor to Ying, he scores! Rudy Ying gets the Patriots back even, and it's 3-3.
A nice goal. No scoring in the third, so that meant they were off to overtime. In the extra frame, Kevin DeMagno draws all the attention. Toronto completely disregards Chris Cobham out front, who bulges the twine to give B-Town the win. 4-3 Burlington, your final. Peacock, Morris, McLaughlin, and Cobham with markers for the Cougars, who remain tied for that 4th playoff seed in the Southwest. Okay, hold on to your hats. This was nearly the upset of the year. Milton hasn't won since October 24th. Early on, it looked like the Raiders would just roll as Ryan Takamatsu makes it 1-0, just 2:49 in. But Milton It's like a whole different team on this night. At the 5:21 mark, Raiders sloppy in their own end. Graham McLean to Ryan again, Roof Daddy, and Milton ties it up 1-1. 5 minutes later on the power play.
Boards up to Filoso. Pass it over to Pierce. They're coming here as Pierce, he shoots. Stop the rebound and score! The rebound is banged home by Graham McLean.
Yeah, that's right. The Ice Hawks up on the first place Raiders 2-1 at the break. Matt Wetham was huge for Milton in this one, making 48 saves on the night. Nothing you can do about this one, though, as Asher Elliott's shot gets redirected home, and it was 2-2. But what the heck was this? Late in the frame, Anthony Filoso floats a weak one past Billy Day. Could this really be happening? Could the Ice Hawks possibly knock off the all-powerful Raiders? It wasn't to be. Third frame, Daniel Hardy wrists one past Wetham to draw the Raiders even, and it's a 3-3 hockey game. 2 minutes later, it's Hardy once again, this time accepting the pass from Asher Elliott to make it 4-3 Raiders. They would add 2 more to put it away, but it's a moral victory for the Ice Hawks, who've been blown out countless times this year. 6-3 Georgetown, your final, as they grab 2 crucial points to stay ahead of Buffalo in the race for supremacy in the West. Okay, let's take a look now at some OJ commitments from the past week. 3 to tell you about. Zach Millifone from Kingston commits to the Union Dutchman for 2017-18. Marco Wazzano from Markham commits to Ottawa, and Jack Jacome, the fantastic rookie from Georgetown, commits to Clarkson. Congratulations to all 3 players. Our alumni update, lots to catch up on for this week. Nico Kovacic of Niagara named AHC Defensive Player of the Week. Jamie Phillips of Michigan Tech, WCHA Defensive Player of the Week. And Stephen Racine from Michigan, Big Ten Second Star of the Week. Kyle Rank of Peoria and the SPHL named Co-Player of the Month for January. And Justin Danforth of Sacred Heart, Atlantic Hockey Player of the Month for January as well. The Fast Hockey Broadcaster Battle is now underway. We've got 4 OJ nominees. Great guys, all of them. Alan Etmansky of Kingston, Joe Montezano of Markham, Reno Matucci also of Markham, and Jamie Neugebauer of just a ton of teams these days. He's doing great. Head to ojhl.ca to cast your vote for your favorite OJ broadcaster. These guys are super talented. Cast your vote. A quick look at the OJHL standings. In the Northeast, the North Division, Markham has clinched a playoff spot. They have an 8-point bulge over second place Aurora. In the East, Trenton and Kingston have both qualified for the postseason. Quite the race there for the next few spots. In the Southwest, Oakville on top of the South by 5 points right now over North York. And in the West, Georgetown now have a 6-point bulge, still with a game in hand over the second place Buffalo Junior Sabres. And of course, OJ trivia for this week. And your question is, which NCAA school has Wellington forward Luke Brown committed to? Which school has Luke Brown committed to? He just made his commitment this season. Of course, you can win an OJHL prize pack. If you don't know the answer, head to ojhl.ca. First person with the correct email to iwestgate@theojhl.ca wins. Welcome back to the OJ. Today I'm joined finally, and I say finally because I've been trying to get him for a couple months now. Not just kidding, a couple weeks anyway. Georgetown Raiders coach Greg Walters. Thank you.
Thanks,
for being here. He's
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Off to practice after this, so we're making it quick today. But coming off that huge game yesterday against North York, that was about as tight as it gets, I guess, wasn't it? You guys winning double OT. I checked the shots. I mean, I think it was a one-shot difference in the entire game. Obviously, 2 really closely matched teams.
They're a great hockey team, and it was a very tight checking game. They did a lot of video, I know, from guys. I know their coach on us, and so a lot of our plays they knew about.
They knew it already. Yeah.
As with good coaching in our league that the teams do know about. So it was a really tight checking game, and they're right there, with, I mean, the league is so comparable right now.
Yeah.
You know, especially the top 8 teams. So it's
they're not going to be a fun team to face in the playoffs.
No,
so we're doing
not
a
at
feature
all.
story on them later on in the show too.
Yeah.
But they're going to be tough. They got size, speed. They got
Yeah.
experience too.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously as well. So for you guys, currently in first place with Buffalo chasing you closely behind in the West Division. So I mean, would it be fair to say you're pretty happy with the way things have gone so far this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I tell the kids, you know, daily how proud I am of them, and it's really been the most exciting and enjoyable time for me coaching in a long time. You know, having 17, 18 new players coming in and only 5 coming back, we weren't sure where we were going to be, and you know, it's all the credit to these young kids. We're so young. They've really learned and trust each other, and have learned to play a team game under our structure as coaches, and it's just been amazing. I'm so proud of them.
And this is a young team. This is if not one of it might possibly be the youngest team in the league.
Yeah,
you got a lot of 17-year-olds on the team and 18-year-olds. I was joking because Andrew Court, 18 years old, he's a grizzled veteran now, played 3 years with the team. But realistically, I mean, I think we've chatted before about this, but this is about sort of a year ahead of what you expected to be. You expected to be competitive, but I don't think that you thought you'd be this good this fast. Is that fair to say?
No, we didn't at all, and it was so unknown. But we did know that, you know, that we did work hard on our recruiting process, and we knew we brought in good people and good players. But when they take the jump from midget to the OJHL, where now they're playing against men, you just never know how they're going to react. And to a man, it's everyone's improved and getting better. And we're a tough team to play against. I mean, our kids, they never stop working. And I think a lot of it's off of our forecheck. And like I said, the kids they don't stop working, and they're competitive. So it's, like I said, it's been a blast for us as a coaching staff.
Fun to teach.
Yeah.
So, I mean, last year's funny, you had one of the oldest teams in the league, and this year, one of the youngest. We got to talk about, well, so first of all, the Jacome dynasty, as I like to refer to them as. Older brother Brendan, who's now been with the team for, it's been fun to watch the last couple of years, and younger brother Jack, who's a late 98 birth date, a rookie this year. Guy's leading the team in scoring, and he's in the top 5, or maybe he's 6 overall right now, and the O changes day to day. But he's been absolutely phenomenal to watch. He's 17 years old.
I mean, Jack's, like you said, Jack's 5'8". He thinks in his head that he's 6'3".
Physical too.
And he is not intimidated by anybody. His work ethic is second to none. Nobody works as hard as that kid, and he's so skilled. And he's such a team guy. He's so unselfish, and he's a great player. He's got lots of schools on him.
I bet he does. Yeah.
You know, not a lot of people know he was actually the last cut of the Windsor Spitfires this year. Really? Not that he was going to go or not, but he's legit. And I mean, he's small, but he's just so competitive, and he will not lose a 50-50 puck.
Well, you've seen him. It's funny. I've watched him bowl over guys going for the puck, and the guy's 5'8" or something. So he's been phenomenal. We're running out of time. We could talk forever. But
we could.
Real quick, let's do a quick comment on Masters, who just won the Gong Show Gear Goalie of the Month for January, and that's the second time he's actually won the award this season. He's in his first year. He's a 20-year-old first year in the OJ, though, and he's been phenomenal for you guys.
The big thing about Andrew, he's been awesome. I think he's maybe had 1 or 2 off nights, and off night meaning we haven't pulled him. I know that, and I'm hard on goalies, but he's been unbelievable, and he was our rock. Like at the start of the year when the kids are younger and they're learning the structure and playing against older guys. He was awesome for us, and now it's you know he still has to be very good, but we're very good defensively in front of him now, and we're not giving up the quality scoring chances that we did at the start of the year.
I was going to say real quick, we're going to do the last question, but the other thing I was going to say is funny because it's been a goaltending factory the last few years, mostly young guys who have then gone on to that next step, OHL or whatever, a lot of high prospects, and this year a veteran goalie. So leading to my last question, which is, we got 45 seconds. It is a young team. You got that veteran presence in goal, but out front of them, it is a younger team. Typically in the playoffs, it seems to be the more veteran teams that go far. So how do you combat that, or what do you see with this team then down the stretch and going into the playoffs?
Well, like you said, we're young, but all our kids have played this year. A lot of, they've all played a lot of ice time, and they're so competitive and so tenacious that they don't care.
Yeah.
They really don't care if you're 20, if you're 25. So it's been a dream come true for us coaches.
Well, listen, man, it's been so much fun to watch, and playoffs coming up, and interested in seeing how you guys do in the playoffs. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you, Alex.
Off to practice he goes, and thanks for being here. More OJ today coming up in just a second.
You're here for the bump back, and then if you get hit again, then it's a bump back to our right knee. Right? Yeah. Drop Bailey Malella. Got Asher Elliott. You got Andrew Ford. And you got Andrew Matthews.
Welcome back. Well, they've got size, they've got skill, and they've got experience. Those are 3 reasons any team should be very concerned if it has to face the North York Rangers in the playoffs this year. Head coach Brent Hughes has the team firing on all cylinders as the postseason draws near. And we find out now what's been clicking for the Rangers in this week's team report, brought to you by Muscle Milk. Muscle Milk, official sponsor of the OJHL. Halloween was the start of a true nightmare for the North York Rangers. That was the night they lost 3-2 to the Oakville Blades, kicking off a brutal 8-game losing streak. But the Rangers refused to wither and die. They regrouped and came back stronger than ever. They've been a force in the second half of the season and are currently chasing the Blades for top spot in the South.
There's been ups and downs. I think there's been more ups and downs. I mean, we obviously went through that slide there, with the 8-game losing streak. But we've turned it around, and the players here have been great. They come in, they work hard, and it's such a tight dressing room, and that just goes a long way for a hockey club. It makes my job easy.
I think we could definitely pick it up in the defensive zone, and obviously a little bit 5-on-5. But I mean, our special teams are gelling right now, and we're doing really well. I think down the stretch here, we're going to have to, like I said, we got to pick it up 5-on-5 and probably a little bit more in our D zone, play a little bit tougher. But I'm happy with where we stand, and I think we should roll in here into the playoffs.
The Rangers are blessed with size, skill, and experience. Loads of experience. One example is high-scoring defenseman Tyler Curry, who was acquired from the defending OJ champion Toronto Patriots early in the season.
20-year-old, he's won in this league twice, and that's great for our young guys to look up to. He's one of the first guys at the rink. He's the first guy on the ice in practice. He's one of the last guys to leave. Right, and so I mean, to me, for a young guy, it's a great guy to look up to.
Chris Sekelic was acquired from Pickering prior to the trade deadline. The 6'1", 190-pound 19-year-old has been a force, averaging 2 points per game for the Rangers.
Pure offensive dynamo. He just gets points all game, kind of solidifies our second line, if you will. If it's a second line, it's basically a first line, and he just settles everyone down on the ice. That's essentially what he does. Good veteran presence.
Captain Jeremy Zabo has been outstanding on the blue line for North York.
Zabs is a great guy on and off the ice, but you know what? He may not be the most vocal guy in the room, but with his play, you can definitely tell that he's a leader. He leads by example. He's there for the big hit. You know what? He can produce offensively. He blocks shots. He's, if not one of the best D in the league, and he's a great guy.
Keegan Blasby is a bruiser who can put up points. At 6'2", 210 pounds, Coach Brent Hughes feels he's just scratching the surface of his potential.
Blas, he's big body. I don't think he is fully registered with him that he can just overpower guys at this level. With his size and his strength. Sometimes I think he gets away from that style of game. And when he's on, I mean, he's a pretty dangerous player. And he can basically change the game himself if he really wanted to.
Gianluca Baguetta has been a standout in goal for the Rangers, coming up with some massive stops. 20-year-old Michael Morgan has been a big contributor, averaging a point per game. And then we get to the youngsters. 17-year-old Braden Gottschalk has 37 points in 48 games and is signed with the Moncton Wildcats of the QMJHL. 1999-born forward Nick Campoli has been dynamic and is a draft pick of the OHL Saginaw Spirit.
So, for a 99 and his patience and maturity, again, like the sky's the limit for that kid. I mean, we talked about him before, and he's just a kid that loves to come to the rink every day, and when it's one of his top priorities in life, and something that's hard to find.
Down the stretch, the Rangers know what they need to do in order to be successful.
Right, this time of year, we're getting closer and closer here to playoff time. Right, stay consistent, stay with the good habits. Right, no individual stuff here. The end rushes, the close your eggs Teddy. Right, just play the game the right way.
Just staying consistent, using our work ethic. I said from day one, our identity is we're a team that doesn't get outworked. So when we do that and we stick to our system, good things will happen for us.
And just before we go, a look at our top 5 plays from the OJ over the past week. Number 5, Aurora's Austin Gerhardt with the sweet saucer pass to J.D. Falconer, who finishes. Beautiful little pass from Gerhardt there. Number 4, Milton's Matt Wetham flashes the leather against Georgetown. One of 48 saves he made on Wednesday night. Number 3, Kingston's Josh Hardiman with the sweet solo effort against the Hurricanes. And he gets it to go past Dalton Ewing. Number 2, North York's Louis Kiriakou turns on the Jets and blows past Zach Dybowski before beating Georgetown's Andrew Masters. Speed kills. And number 1, Kingston's Zach Amiliphone, the definition of a 200-foot player blocking the shot, then going end-to-end and showing off soft hands to beat Newmarket's Ewing. Zach just committed to the Union Dutchman, and he's got our OJ Play of the Week. And we've got to go, but just remember, head to the league website at ojhl.ca for all the up-to-date news, stats, and standings. On Twitter at OJHLofficial, and of course at facebook.com/OJHLofficial. Thanks for tuning in, folks. I will see you next week.